Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, I'm going to be making an abstract painting in my sketchbook, and I'm going to be focusing on making different types of marks and how we can integrate these marks into abstract paintings. So I'm working in a Canson mixed media rough book, and it has a fairly good paper weight. It's 115 pounds, so it's not too bad for taking different media. So to start off with here, I'm using a Caran Neocolor 2 crayon in the color Night Blue. And I'm just starting off by making tiny little squiggle marks. I'm not thinking at all about making this into anything at all. I'm just randomly squiggling and seeing how it feels to make these marks. I'm going in because they are water soluble, and I'm using just a little bit of water, and I want to see what this is doing to the marks. I'm asking myself how I like this. How do I feel about this? Do I like the marks better fully as a crayon? Do I like them partially done with water like I've done here? And now I'm going in. This is a Bic mechanical pencil. And as I'm doing this, I am just thinking about making some fun marks that are appealing to me. I'm also experimenting and seeing, do I like these marks? I'm just letting myself get into this, and I'm not thinking about anything like how is this going to look with composition, or how is this going to work out. I don't know if this mark looks good. I'm not thinking about anything like that. This is just exploring, and it's playing. So I'm making these marks here with willow charcoal, and I'm pressing firmer, I'm pressing softer, I'm making larger marks, smaller marks. It's just a wide variety to see what it looks like. This is the Caran crayon in, I believe it's called Eggplant. And so again, I'm just experimenting. These are some sort of smaller squiggle marks, and then I clump it together as one big squiggle mark, and that way I get a good variety in the marks that I'm making. I'm using some white paint there to make some more marks, and I'm just experimenting with my brush to see how it appears, like how the marks appear if I hold my brush in different ways. And also here varying the length of the line, the thickness of the line, doing some sorts of squiggles. I know this looks like a mess right now, but it doesn't matter because this is all about playing and getting the marks down and seeing what marks that I like. And I will worry later about how I can integrate them into a painting. So now I'm going over this with, this is a combination of Ultramarine Blue and white, and then it's mixing with the magenta crayon, so it's giving me some nice purple tones and sort of light lavender tones. Here I'm using Liquitex ink, and that's acrylic ink, sorry, and I think it's emerald green I'm using, although I'm not positive, but it's a fairly bright green you'll see here. Actually, I think it might be phthalo green that the color is. Anyway, so I'm just going over very with a thin wash, like I have a bit of water on my brush. That's why the ink isn't, you know, super saturated and bright, because if I applied it fully, it would be quite bright. And now I'm going over that with a little bit of a more muted green, which I mixed from Yellow Ochre and Ultramarine Blue and white. And I'm just doing that because I thought the green was a little bit too bright for how I wanted it. Now I'm making marks. This is a bamboo skewer that I'm using, and I'm making marks with that and just scratching into the paint. I'm continuing to just use different things here. I'm still totally in an exploratory stage. That is the Liquitex Acrylic Ink in Quinacridone Magenta. Is a very nice, beautiful, strong color, strong magenta. If you like this color, then I recommend this ink. I like it a lot. It's really nice. I'm going back in with a very light shade of blue there. Again, that is Ultramarine Blue and Titanium White that I'm using. And I'm still exploring. I'm just bringing the color into different places. And you can see I'm covering up some marks. And that's just how I like to approach mark making. I don't want every mark that I've put down to be super obvious at the end. And I love how the marks will peek through layers of paint. I decided to add in a little bit of yellow ochre because there was a lot of, I'll say, sorts of bluish, purplish tones, and that yellow is an opposite on the color wheel to violet, so that just helps make it pop a little bit. I was using a little bit of Neocolor 2 in yellow ochre there, making some marks, and I'm continuing to experiment and to be loose and to be free with this painting. I don't have any expectations for this. I'm doing this in my sketchbook, so it allows me to be really free and to not worry about the outcome. That's a little bit more of the Liquitex ink in the green color, and it really looks so nice and vibrant when you put it on really strong. And I like to bring the color into other places so it helps to unify the composition, and that's why you see me adding it into some other places. Now I want to make sure that this is dry before I go in and do anything else, or else my colors will get muddy, so that's why you saw me using the hairdryer then and getting it more dry. Another nice way of sort of covering up your marks and then creating more is to add a thin veil of paint like I did with the white there, and then I scratched into it with a plastic knife. I'm going back in here and I'm adding more of the night blue into the top of the composition and adding in a little more yellow ochre into places as well. I like exploring the different mark making techniques by using the crayon in different ways, maybe scribbling, maybe just making some plain marks. Also, I really like to go over the marks and see what happens when I go over the marks, not just with one layer of paint, but another layer. So in this way, by keeping your paint layers thin when you're going over your marks, it gives it that sort of misty veiled effect. So you can see the marks through it, but not so they're overbearing. I'm adding in some more muted green color here just to try to balance out some of the more saturated colors. That's something that I will sometimes think about, and I don't want a super bright painting. That's not usually how I paint. Of course, if you like to do that, then go and do what your gut says. It's important to follow what you really like to do when you're doing your paintings. So now I'm going over with a little bit of a thicker, more opaque paint. I decided that it was looking a little too cluttered up there, and that's why I'm going over it. I know a lot of times people will look at abstracts and they'll say, well, why did you paint all that paint on the bottom layer and then you just go over it? And the answer for that is that, sometimes it's just too much and you want to unify it, so you go over it. And other times, you just feel like maybe things got too busy or you didn't like the colors that you put down. And that's okay. That's why we're doing this in a sketchbook. I'm getting experience with it. I'm practicing. I'm seeing what happens when I make different marks. Here I am going in with the violet crayon, and I'm just bringing, some sort of scribbly marks into it. And here I am experimenting, making sort of more dot type marks, and I'm bringing it into different places just to sort of give it a bit of harmony within the composition. Scribbling again with the night blue one, and then seeing what happens to the mark when I add a little bit of water, and it gives it that sort of nice diffuse look to it. I'm continuing to try different marks. You see, I'm not just using the same type of mark all over the painting. Some get scribbles, some get dots. Some of the techniques I've done is scratching in the paint into thin lines. If you have a thicker implement, like maybe a thicker palette knife, you could get thicker lines. And so I'm just continuing to experiment. At this point, I am thinking about things like the composition. Like I said, I try to make the marks in different spots of the painting, which helps to create a cohesive look to it. But by the same, thing, I'm still just playing around. I mean, ultimately, this is in my sketchbook, so I'm not in any sense getting distressed by what's happening. If I think there's a part I don't like, who cares? It doesn't matter. This is for fun. I'm gonna be loose and free. This is not only an exercise in exploring mark making, but it's a way to just let go and loosen up. So I didn't like totally that dark paint that I put down there, so I'm dabbing it off with my paper towel, and then I dabbed it in a couple of other spots in the painting. And I like to just smudge it with my fingers sometimes. It creates a nice sort of smudgy, softened effect. Going back in a little more with some more crayon, making a few more marks there, seeing how I like to integrate it. Here I am wanting to put a much more saturated sort of punch of color there. That's why I'm going back in with the acrylic ink. I felt like I had lost it a little bit, and so that's why I decided to go back in. Adding in some marks there, just with the light touch of the sort of lighter color on my brush. And then I don't want it fully showing, that's why I went over it with the lightened white. Again there, just gently sort of sketching in these light lines. And I mean, of course, that's a good way to vary your mark making, is just by the amount of pressure that you use with whatever tool you are using. So this is how the finished painting turned out. I decided that I had taken it far enough. Look at all the texture that I created through this different mark making and using the different washes. It really adds a very dynamic look to the piece, and it's very interesting visually. So this is the end of the video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.